Good morning, good morning, good morning. Hope you're all having a fantastic day. I got a different one here for you. I've been getting a lot of questions recently about how to pick play to earn games, about what I personally do when I take a look at and do these white paper reviews. Because when I do the white paper reviews on video, I usually stick to just showing you what's in the white papers, not really giving you too much of my opinions, whether what's good or bad, because again, I'm not a financial advisor, so I'm not trying to influence whether you purchase or don't purchase any NFTs for any projects. I'm trying to inform you what what's going on with them. So what I wanted to do is I wanted to put a video here with the top 10 things that I look at personally when I'm doing a white paper review to determine whether I think a project is something worth looking into more, or if it's just another one of those that you look at and you walk away from. One thing I do want to mention, I have to, going into this, this is not financial advice. I'm not a financial professional. Please make sure you do your own research and just make sure it's best for you. This is all my personal opinion, what I personally do, and it should not be taken as gospel or as this is what you need to do. There are 10 things that I look at, and these get adjusted as the market goes. So sometimes I look at them, sometimes I don't. Sometimes I add extra things in there. So what I wanted to do is this video will be a quick walkthrough of the 10. Then I'm going to have some additional videos that kind of break it down a little bit more detail. Some will be combined because some are connect with each others, and you'll see that here shortly. And I also wanted to show you a quick example things that I thought were doing basically a good job with this. So I want to go ahead and start off with the first one. The first thing I normally look at is we know click to earn, or this typical you click or you stake to earn games should be going out the window. There's still a lot of them out there, and I'm hoping the direction or the standard on Wax and every other blockchain is that we start not investing into those, because a lot of those only last a month or two. A lot of those lose people money unless you're one of the first people in there and you sell out right away. Yes, the flippers do profit from those, but I would say maybe 80 to 90% of the people that jump into those click to earn don't do a very good job. Obviously, there's a few exceptions. So the one thing that I look at right away is the long-term vision. What are they going to be doing more than a month from now? Are they going to be doing regular events? What's the roadmap? What are they planning for the long term of this game? And one game I think it does a really good job of that, and there's a lot of them that do a good job with this, but one that specifically jumps out at me is Castles. They always are running events. Some people say it's a little too much. I think it's awesome because it's different. So many projects go months without doing anything. Castles is always trying to do something. You know, both the long-term vision with the land side, the dungeon side, things beyond the dungeons. You know those. They're very transparent with that. In addition to that, they're doing regular crafting events to keep you interested in the game. So I wanted to highlight that. We have the wonders that we've talked about. We have the more packs coming up. They have sales. And the sales aren't necessarily for them. They're not cash grabs, which I like a lot. They do have the Baron sale, but they've been communicating that from the get-go that there's going to be a certain amount that they sell. Other than that, it's all for in-game tokens. So I like that. They also are pretty clear in their white papers that they show the vision, and they don't just show uh, basically the current phase and then have no details about the future. You'll see that a lot in white papers where they'll show what they're currently at and then very little information about future ones. So take a look at that. Make sure the game or the project that you're looking to has a long-term vision, not just a short-term one. The next one on the list is what makes it unique? What is unique about yours that's not just a simple copycat from every other single game out there? So the one that I wanted to mention here is there are 20 plus farming games, specifically focused on farming games on Wax. 20 plus. But there's one that stands out that is super unique and has, again, from the previous one, a long-term vision. Farming Tales. I can't say enough about this. You guys know I like this. Not only do they already have the 3D version implemented in the game, there's some kludgy there's some things that they should uh, they are working on. But this, just the fact that I can run around my farm, see my animals, see my buildings, is 10 times better than any other farming game that's out there. Yes, you have games like Farm Wars where it's 3D, but it's a distance 3D, and it's just a souped up version of the other farming games. This one you can actually run around. And they're in the process of doing New Wax Gesture. Yes, New Wax Gesture is taking longer than it should, but they're working hard on it. So that's going to blow. You're basically not only going to have your farm to run around, you're going to have a city to run around where you can be interactive with other people. So that makes it super unique. Even just going into the buildings and going up to your bedroom and seeing that and seeing a bed there just makes it different. And I think on Wax, with all the games that are coming out on a regular basis, being unique is key to that. The next and kind of goes along with it is having a unique art style. Um, Having that, having some custom, not just templates that you adjust a little bit is key. Waxel World jumps out at me at this. They not necessarily the most impressive graphics in the world, but it's unique. You don't see anything else on Wax that has this style. It's the old school 8-bit style that's very nostalgic and super cool. In addition to that, blockchain brawlers. You don't see anything else on Wax that has this, which makes it unique. And you see these two games, because of their art style, is super popular. So that's another thing that you should take a look at, is just the graphics. This may not be the most critical thing, but a lot of people are attracted by unique graphics. So that's something you want to keep an eye on. Next is tokenomics. One of the best things, or one of the best games I think for right now, or when it comes to tokenomics, is Taco. They've been out, and I've said this before recently, they've been out longer than I've been in the Wax game, and their tokens are usually pretty static or increasing in value. Every other token in Wax, for the most part, let me just say 99% of them have decreased between October and now. Shing and Taco have been very steady, even with them implementing new ways to produce and mine the token. Why is that? My next item on my list, burning mechanisms. They have a ton, a buttload, if you want to say, of burning mechanisms. And they continue to build them in there. Every single month or so, they're adding some additional ones. And they're using them for not only their games, but they're already starting to pull other games on there too, um, from third parties that are using their tokens. So the value of them, they're creating a platform, which is something that you want to take a look at. You want to take a look at the max supply. You want to take a look at how they're using it. A lot of details. And if you go in their white paper, they have a long list of burning mechanisms, and if you go into each of their games, they also do regular collaborations where they sell using Shing. Um, they have a whole marketplace that they use in there. They have the shop that you can buy stuff, all with Taco. So they just have a lot of options out there to use, and I think this is very key when looking at a project. Obviously, a brand new project is not going to be this detailed, but you have to take a look. If they only have you produce a certain amount their token on a regular basis, basically passive, and they only have one burning mechanism for it, that should be a warning to you. If they have others that they're going to be coming in the future, that's good. So keep an eye on both their tokenomics and the burning mechanism that goes along with it. All right, next on the list is their communication. Whew, this is a underrated but extremely important feature that you need to take a look at. Some games that jump out at me with an awesome communication is games like Waxel. You'll always see Ryu and the development team in their Discord nonstop. I don't think these guys sleep. Like, literally, I can go in at any time of the day and they have people in there. Taco's good with it too. Castles is good with it too. They have a great line of communication in there. See, we got Roberts in there right now. Even though Ryu's on the Digicon, he's also in the Discord. So there's a huge open line of communication. There's regular updates. There's regular announcements. This is so underrated. One of the best uh, games out there, I think, from a gameplay perspective, is Krypton, and they are horrible at communication, and you see it in their value. These games like Waxel Castle, things like that, the value is either pretty steady or going up. For games like Krypton that has such a great, oh gosh, it's a great project from an idea perspective and from a functionality perspective, but their communication is killing. People are leaving left and right because they cannot communicate and or will not communicate. So make sure if there's a project to take a look at the communication, especially if that's something that's important to you, if you want to know what's going on in the game. All right, the next on the list is marketing. Goes along with that, and I actually wish I had that up here. Um, uh, Digicon. Digicon's a good example um, of marketing that games, in order to thrive and continue to move forward and continue to do well, need to be bringing people in. I know I hesitated there for a second because some people think if you continuously bring in new people, it's a Ponzi scheme. No, I think you need the communication and the community keeps the existing players. Marketing brings new players. That's why I put these two next to each other. So both are incredibly important to keep your player base and continue to add your player base. That's how you're going to get a big player base, which provides value for us as players. So marketing is an extremely important part of that. I pulled this up for the Digicon, one, because it's going on right now. Two, because if you look at some of these games on here, these are some popular games. These are some games that have really bright futures. Blockchain Brawler's huge. Waxel World is becoming huge, even though it hasn't launched yet. It has a strong community that is growing. Taco also a very strong community behind it that continues to get people in there. So there's a lot of things. Marketing does a lot for something, for something, for a project that is incredibly important. Something that you should look at if they're actively marketing. And I'm not saying not just FOMO, pushing the FOMO. That's actually on the opposite side. That's red flag. But if they're doing good quality marketing, trying to get out there, trying to talk to people and meet with new customers and new players. That's incredibly important. All right. I'm actually going to jump. No, no, we'll keep track of the list. The next item on the list is basically their initial pack sale. Um, you want to take a look at whether they have a limited number of packs in that initial pack sale, or if they're just shooting for the unlimited to gain as much cash or wax as they can. So that's something that's important, and that's something that's not often described in a white paper. So some games do that. Some games you got to dig through the Discord and really push to get that information. But I think it's incredibly important. One game that just came out recently was Taco Racer, and I think they did a good job with it. They sold out during their sale process. They had a limit of 1,000 packs that they were selling. It was an exact number. I like to see a little bit less than that, especially with the way the times are now. But 1,000 was good considering the way the market is, and considering there's so many games dropping right now that are barely selling 25% of their packs. Uh, Taco Racer did a good job by limiting those. They had a VIP. They did good marketing around it. They pushed pretty quickly, and overall, I think they did a really good job with their packs. They also did whitelisting. That's very important with a lot of these projects because if they're not looking to do whitelist and they're just looking to quick drop a public sale, there should be a red flag there because you know that not only are they looking either they're naive and don't realize that they're going to sell as many as they think they're going to sell, but also there's going to be a lot of flippers and bots that grab it, and flippers and bots instantly decrease the value of packs because they grab them and they try and sell them as quickly as possible, whether that means they just keep dropping the price. So what you'll see with a lot of projects, uh, with those kind of sales that sell a lot to bots, uh, they're selling their packs in return for less than what they sold it during the drop. Um, Sometimes they won't sell out just because people get scared of it. Sometimes they will sell out, but potential players won't get it, so they got to get it off the secondary market. So definitely something to take a look at. And then here's another one, and this one has become more increasingly important to me because it's more feedback that I'm getting from in within the Discord and within the comments. Um, People want a project that has a good entry point, and not necessarily a super duper low entry point, but a good affordable entry point. And what I'm looking for now is I'm looking for projects that actually have two entry points. I like projects that have that low entry point. Obviously, it's limited. You don't have full functionality. You can't run the game, but it gives you something to build up with. And then there's limited high entry points. These are for the whales that really wanna invest in a game. I think both are very important for a game. You need those. You need the attractiveness of that low entry point to bring in those new players on a constant basis. And you need the whales. As much people like to complain about the whales actually do a good job for games. They have some negative things, but they attract more people. And some games that are doing really well with this, Million on Mars, which they actually just redid their format, as you can see here, literally today. Um, they do a fantastic job with it. They give you a $10 option to get into the game, and maybe it's 10 wax, somewhere in that area. I forget off the top of my head. But you can go ahead and scavenge. You can use that. You can build up. You can get land over time. But they also give you the option to get land deeds right away for those higher ticket or higher people that want to get in there. Hires may not be the best word, but people that have a little more wax for their situation can jump into that higher, and it attracts them also. Castles is adding an additional entry point to their dungeon expansion that they're bringing out, also doing a great job with that. So that's a neat feature that they're doing to continue to attract and keep players. Last but not least, and this is one I did a whole other video on, and unfortunately I don't have I don't want to call out another game with this. Red flags. I have a whole list of personal red flags that I'm going to do a separate video on. I just did a video this past week showing one. Basically, if they're claiming ROIs or they're claiming some sort of return or really pushing the FOMO, those are projects that you should probably avoid. I actually showed during that video earlier this week one of the projects that had a guarantee of return right in their white paper. Conveniently, after my video is out there and that's been removed from their white paper, not sure if they're correlated. Not trying to take credit for them removing that, but I just thought it was interesting on the timing. And also, we know another project just got delisted from Atomic Hub because of these claims. If there's red flags like that out there, you're not going to want to invest in those. You should consider not investing in it. Let me change the wording for that, because there's a chance they could get delisted. There's a chance that they could get really blacklisted. There's some projects that have gotten blacklisted for certain red flags. So and if that happens, the value goes down. You are essentially losing your wax for those. I'm going to go ahead and I'm actually going to do several breakdown videos on these, trying to go into more detail, actually showing you some more examples of what I look at. So more of an informational, more something that you can see examples as far as when you're looking at some potential things that may help you out. Again, not financial advice, but just trying to help people out, especially those that are new to the community. I hope this helps, and I hope you enjoy these kind of videos. If you do, please comment down below, subscribe, let me know you like this kind of stuff. All right, thank you and have a great day.